Your martial arts is turning you into an alcoholic. You just disgrace your family, and the British consul are smuggling Chinese artifacts. Now you're out of options. All you want to do is make your father proud and master the Drunken Fist. Let's see if Wong Fei Hung can stop the consul's illegal activities and bring honor back to his family in this condensed version of Legend of the Drunken Master. The film begins with Wong Fei Hung, his father Wong Qiying, and their assistant So standing in the line to board a train back to Canton. Fei Hung, now wanting his father to pay taxes on some ginseng, pushes his assistant to accidentally knock a stranger's suitcase open. Then he places the ginseng inside. Fei Hung intends to retrieve it later once they're aboard the train. During the lunch break, Fei Hung searches for the ginseng on the train, only to discover someone else stealing from the same suitcase. The assailant hastily grabs a similar yellow package and escapes through the window. Fei Hung grabs his yellow package and rushes out the window. As he pursues the thief, a scuffle breaks out under the train, during which the assailant accuses Fei Hung of being a traitor, causing him to be confused. Despite Fei Hung's needing to get back into the train, he grabs a sword and engages in a duel with the assailant, who's wielding a spear. Initially, the assailant gains the upper hand, but chooses to spare Fei Hung's life, while still accusing him of being a traitor once more. Feeling deeply hurt, Fei Hung pursues the assailant and resumes their intense battle. Suddenly, the steam from the train begins to billow. It provides the assailant with an opportunity to escape. Still feeling disrespected, Fei Hung tracks down the assailant and demonstrates his Drunken Fist Technique. However, the assailant proves to be a formidable opponent, matching Fei Hung's skill and even surpassing him in combat. As they realize the train is departing, both men rush towards it. Barely catching up, Fei Hung boards the train with the assistance from a stranger. Meanwhile, the assailant opens his box to discover it only contains ginseng. It appears that Fei Hung has switched packages with him. Back on the train, guards are searching for the stolen package. Fei Hung begins opening various packages to demonstrate they don't contain the stolen item. When he opens the package believed to contain ginseng, he discovers it actually holds a jade imperial seal. Quick on his feet to avoid trouble, he discreetly sets it aside and continues opening the rest of other packages. The guard becomes suspicious and insists Fei Hung open the package that he just dropped, but before he does, counterintelligence officer intervenes. It was also the stranger that helped him board back on the train. The officer instructs the guard to move on to the next train and cease their questioning, saving Fei Hung and company from further scrutiny. Upon returning to Canton, Qiying's client asks for the ginseng. Worried about facing his father's wrath, Fei Hung substitutes the roots from his father's bonsai tree for the ginseng, avoiding the truth about losing it on the train. The next morning, Fei Hung's stepmother Ling instructs him to pawn her necklace to purchase the ginseng. Unaware that the British consul's henchman recognizes them from the train, they're out searching for the jade imperial seal. Unnoticed, the henchmen follow them, believing they possess the seal. Ignorant, it's actually just a necklace. When the henchmen snatch the purse, Fei Hung pursues them and successfully retrieves it. Returning to restore the purse, the new foreman from the steel mill, Henry, who is part of the theft, demands an apology from Fei Hung for bumping into him. Fei Hung's stepmother intervenes and tells him that he doesn't deserve an apology since he's part of their group. In retaliation, the foreman slaps Fei Hung's stepmother, sparkling a brawl. Effortlessly dispatches the foreman's henchman, holding his own even against multiple opponents, demonstrating his skills in drunken boxing. Seeing Fei Hung tiring, Ling provides him with alcohol to boost his energy, supposedly granting him strength. The alcohol fuels Fei Hung's drunken boxing style, which emerges in full force, flustering the foreman. Fei Hung requests another drink, and Ling obliges. Now fighting erratically, the foreman struggles to land a single blow on Fei Hung. He even delivers multiple strikes, including a spinning headbutt and impressive aerial maneuvers, knocking down henchmen one by one. With his playful fighting style, he even gives one of them a wheelbarrow ride and uses another's head like an and-one basketball trick. Before things escalate further, his father arrives and intervenes, putting a stop to Fei Hung's fighting and drinking spree. Meanwhile, amidst the madness, the henchmen manage to slip away unnoticed. Back at Fei Hung's home, Ling and Fei Hung face a stern scolding from his father. He berates them for tarnishing their reputation in front of everyone and causing others to believe they are broke, especially Ling since she had to sell her necklace. Qiying mistakenly thinks his wife lost all her money gambling, unaware they were just trying to use the money to buy the ginseng without his knowledge. He shouts at Fei Hung for disobeying him and using drunken boxing, a technique he forbids because it often leads practitioners to become an alcoholic. He disciplines Fei Hung with a whipping for bringing shame upon him and engaging in a public fight. Ling tries to defend Fei Hung, explaining he was only trying to protect her. Then he notices his 300-year-old bonsai tree is dead, which only fuels his anger further. Adding to the frustration, the client's wife arrives and informs Qiying that her husband became ill from the bonsai tree he received from them. In his fury, Qiying slaps Fei Hung for damaging his reputation even further. To top it all off, Ling inadvertently reveals to Qiying that the ginseng was stolen on the train. Fei Hung remarks that he's thirsty. Fed of everything, Qiying seizes the wine and pours it relentlessly on Fei Hung until he shatters it. Qiying disowns his son, accusing him of being a thief and a drunk. Then he throws him out of the house. In the midst of leaving, Fei Hung accidentally strikes his father. Later that night, Fei Hung seeks solace in a karaoke at a local bar, attempting to drown his troubles. The henchmen eventually locate him and brutally beat him up. They further humiliate him by publicly hanging him in the town square without his clothes on. The townspeople inform his parents, who rush to his aid and bring him back home. There, Fei Hung apologized to his father and solemnly promised never to drink again. The following evening, the assailant from the train pays a visit to Fei Hung's home, leading to a confrontation. Fei Hung's father intervenes and halts the altercation. It's revealed the assailant's name is Fu Wenqi, a Manchurian officer who is invited inside. Fu proceeds to disclose details about the British consul's smuggling activities and is now entrusted with the Jade Imperial Seal. The next day, Fei Hung and Fu are enjoying tea when they are ambushed by an axe gang hired by the British consul to reclaim the seal. Fei Hung leaps from the second floor onto a table surrounded by axe-wielding members. Using a bench, he fends off attacks from below while Fu confronts adversaries from above. The gang temporarily traps Fei Hung under the table with bamboo sticks, but he is rescued just in time to evade the axes. Fei Hung defends himself with a large bamboo pole, knocking down his attackers and causing those climbing on the rooftop to tumble down. During the madness, Fu gets struck in the back with an axe. Fei Hung's bamboo poke also gets split open, but he uses this as a makeshift weapon against the assailants. Now armed with an unconventional back scratcher, they make their way to the ground level. Fu Wenqi attempts to flee, but is gunned down in the alley by the consul's men. Before succumbing, he urges Fei Hung and his companions to retrieve the seal from the embassy. With Fu gone, the consul's men escape with the Imperial Seal. Upon infiltrating the embassy, Fei Hung incapacitates a guard and dons his uniform as a disguise. He unexpectedly encounters another soldier and engages in a fierce battle, only to discover it's his friend who also managed to sneak in. Their scuffle attracts the attention of a British consul, resulting in their capture and imprisoned. They endure severe beatings, leaving them bloodied and bruised. Held hostage now, they become bargaining chips for ransom by the consul. Qiying reluctantly agrees to sell his school to the consul in exchange for Fei Hung and his friend's release. Fei Hung feels deeply embarrassed and humiliated by the ordeal, wishing that he had been executed instead. His father reminds him that when one door closes, another will open. The next morning, the steel mill workers are fierce and agitated. The British consul had shut down the mill after making them work overtime without pay until the final shipment was completed. Following this, the mill was permanently closed. Fei Hung and his friend find it suspicious that the mill was abruptly shut down. They suspect it could be where the consul is hiding their smuggling operation. Later that evening, a group of steel mill workers break into the mill office to investigate. They open a crate and discover Chinese artifacts being smuggled out of Canton. They are ambushed by guards stationed there, but one of them manages to escape and rushes to warn Fei Hung. Fei Hung and his comrades arrive at the steel mill, battling through the guards at the entrance. Inside, they are confronted by a man wielding chains. He attacks Fei Hung with his chain, but Fei Hung turns the tables and uses his chains against him. Employing his drunken boxing technique, Fei Hung dodges and lands several strikes on his opponent. He spins the chain above his head like a helicopter, but Fei Hung counters him, taking him out. As he ventures deeper into the mill, Fei Hung faces against John, the consul's chief enforcer. John dismisses a Chinese artifact as worthless, stating that if the British want them, they can buy them. He then orders his 4 henchmen, armed with steel pipes, to attack Fei Hung. Fei Hung engages each henchman individually, skillfully maneuvering around obstacles in the process. During the fight, John throws fire at Fei Hung while he's occupied with one of the henchmen. Fei Hung quickly extinguishes the flames by smothering with coal. He then pursues John but narrowly avoids being run over by a minecart. While contending with Henry, John interrupts with swift and devastating kick. Fei Hung grapples with John to restrict his movements, but John breaks free and displays his formidable fighting stance. Fei Hung switches tactics to drunken boxing as John aggressively targets him with a barrage of punches aimed at his body, delivering punishing blows. Fei Hung is then hurled into burning coals, compelling him to crawl out with his hands aflame. In desperation, he breaks his vow of sobriety and seizes nearby alcohol. He spits fire on Henry, putting him ablaze. He repeats this action, causing Henry to be temporarily incapacitated. John attempts to intervene, but Fei Hung fights him off and takes another drink, reaching the optimal alcohol level to enhance his fighting skills. Now with precise strikes, Fei Hung counters John's attacks and mimics his kicking style. He confuses his opponent with a spinning headbutt and spinning fist from his knees. Fei Hung even performs a WWE style move, executing the worm before finishing John with a gorilla press slam. The film ends with Fei Hung receiving a commemorative plaque from the Chinese general, but he is too drunk to be there.